All right, just waking up, taking a look at the charts. Did some eval trading last night, uh, and banged a couple of shorts or longs and shorts, etc. Caught this short. Talked about this one. Was chatting with a bud for a little bit here. Caught this. Switched long. Got long here. Got long here. Got stopped at the bottom. Got right back in. These are always tough trades to take. I mean, like I could have had my stop maybe. Wait, look at this. This was 36. Yeah, I mean, I probably should have had my stop about 10 points. You know, I should have been underneath this. This was a regular trading hours low yesterday. Came back up. We bought it. We nailed it. Called the top, but then tried long, and I finally got the long down here. Flurry of trades. Ended up taking the ended up doing being green on the screen here, just barely though, right? Like $200, and then we reset at midnight here. So now we're at zero on the account, but this is just an ugly P&L, and that P&L is mostly ugly because I just kept trying to get this long. Made sense though when you look at the longer term chart, but let's kind of break into the price action now this morning and see what we can learn from it. I think the 5,000 tick is probably the most interesting here. I mean, I haven't looked at anything else yet really, but here's where that top was called. But we'll talk about what those distributions look like over here, and why that was picked as a top. But now this is pretty wild what we're looking at, this price action, just because we have a smaller range, and then we got an expansion, then we got a bigger expansion, right? And so like this is a lot of volatility. This 365 area is really key. This is an area that I've been watching for a long time. We'll talk about why that is, and what this distribution is underneath it, and what this distribution is above it. I was thinking with the price action yesterday, during the day, that we were going to be taking out this level here, but we did. So whatever, we're gonna break this down, talk about what these levels are, why they are where they are, and build up our narrative for the day. So with that, we're gonna come over here to the 1 hour chart. I should have had, I don't know where it went. Where did it go? Saving. Maybe it just got shrunken down. All right, but we have a here we go. Let's do this. Yeah, so this right here is, oh, you know what? Here, let's go like this. Yeah, let's keep it like that. All right, so if we were to draw a volume profile, right? If we were to draw one right here, this area right here is the raggedy ass volume profile from over here, and a lot of this volume, in my opinion, had gotten sorted, and and I was anticipating this move up to here is where I was anticipating it, and then we overshot it by like a ton, right? But where we're coming back down to right now is we're coming back down into this volume structure over here and this high volume node. So we have the low volume node, right? We have this low volume node here, and then we have a spike of volume right underneath it. So there's no surprise whatsoever that we're coming down to this exact line. And so this, you know, this 29,365 has been a level that I've talked about a lot over the last however long. This guy got wiggled up. This guy should be down here. And this, oh yeah, I don't know how this got all fucked up because this should be over here. Like this. This was a warm butter zone too, right? So let's hold on here. We'll do this, this, modify chart. So we have warm butter from 7:25 to 6. 3:33. There we go. So this is more butter here. There we go. I need the beginning of it to be like here. There we go. Right. Now we gotta draw some of these levels out, how we got them, and why we got them, and where we got them from. So make sure we got everything where we want it. Yeah, I mean, where do you draw this to? Here. Right, so this is our first level of import from the last couple days. So this is where this broke down right here. So we're gonna make sure that we have a line that draws that. There we go. Now yeah, I mean all this is pretty clean right now. Should support, let's say this, do this, let's modify the text, let's say major major distribution zone below this. All right, and then we have yeah, I mean these lines are pretty straightforward. Yeah, I would say these lines are pretty straightforward. There's not really too much to be there's really not too much to be deliberated on. Um, let's erase some of these notes. So this was a major breakdown right here. So let's do this. Let's kind of take a look here. Yeah, let's pay a little bit of attention to this. This guy right here. Just that little white candle seems really interesting to me. Okay. So let's open up the 120, right? Let's open up the 120 and see if we can kind of identify some of the stuff that's going on. All right. So what do we have here? We have a we have a wick, a great big wick right here, right? Let's see what this little pack of candles looks like at the bottom there. What happened? $365. Say this is 60-point move. 60-point move in 10 minutes. That's the context that we're stepping into right now. Huh. 150-point move in 30 minutes. Okay. All right. That's hot. That's a market moving quickly. But what did it do? We have this volume right here, right? We could highlight this whole thing. This is where price was fought, right? This is where price was fighting. This is where we called that high yesterday. So we caught this breakdown, right? We caught this breakdown. We caught that the short was just a little bit. Short was a little bit of that right there. Caught the long from I think like right here. Caught the long all the way up to here, and then fought for the trying to get long again, and then finally got long here. Put up some green. Then we came back up to this range, and we still had a taper in this area, right? So this is at 8 or 595 area. Okay, so now let's do this, right? So let's say 595, yeah, right here. So let's modify this. So this is pack 5 to, I don't know what this was. What was this volume pack here? Is it 55? Is it bigger than that? Yeah, 50. 550. Right here. Right. So let's do this. Let's go. Let me move to line. Just gotta highlight this. Yeah, let's just highlight this. Let's keep this on our chart. So that's our box, right? We shrink this down a little bit right there. Yeah, yeah, we're cool. We could let's go to 611. Let's change that note to 611. All right, so we also have this volume pack. I don't think we're gonna put this. I don't think we're necessarily gonna put this up on the on this chart, but we're watching here, right? We're watching. Well, let's see how this looks on the hourly chart. Come on, where you at? Where you at, dude? Oh, you know what it is I don't think this copies drawings from this chart. So it is what it is. All right, I see it. It's this volume right here. That's where we're at. So I would argue that yeah, we're gonna adjust the screen line so it's kind of in that low volume node. It kind of makes sense to do it. I mean, we kind of have a zone here, but this is I would say that this is particularly interesting right here. So when we look at this, right here, we really are kind of like splitting the difference between. There we go. Kind of splitting the difference between these two distributions. So right off the bat this morning, looking at this, we're probably thinking to ourselves that, we want to see volume build here before we start getting one. And to that point, we'd want to see volume build up here too. We want to see it build up here in like this wick. Yeah, we have this rejected before, right? This rejected on this one. So this is kind of our game plan going into the day. So hard to be short because we have, well, we're in a tough spot. We're just in a tough spot right now because we put in this low and we got rejected off of it, but that can mean two things, right? Like, though, it can mean that that price is interested in exploring lower. And the fact that we pushed down into this, we took some people who are interested in buying at the bottom of this key distribution zone. We took them out. Or it can mean that, you know, those buyers are so strong and so interested right there that trying to get that drawing. Man, come on, dude. Where's that? Where are those notes? Why are those notes copying over? But I think that the yeah, is to be seen. Oh, come on. I'll just erase it. It's to be seen what this means at the moment, right? This is kind of a tough zone because as we're seeing price come down, all right, we're about to hit this volume pack right here, right? This little volume pack right here. Is this a buy right now? Or are we gonna look at the 15,000 volume metric? And tell the story over here. We built volume, explored lower, came up, failed to make a new high, built volume in the bottom of it. So now is this a short? We're recognizing that we're shorting in the middle of a range. So if we are going to be taking shorts here, they gotta be in the proper sizing. And then they need to be they have to have realistic targets, short ones, small ones, and we gotta jockey in and out. So I can't take 50 points of risk on right now, right? But let's say if I am in a short, let's say we got, yeah, this right here. This right here, that's got to be the stop. That's that low volume node. I understand how that's a point of control on this. How is that the point of control? There's some weird spike in volume there? No, why is that the fucking point of control? Looks like it's a 50% line. All these other ones make sense. Ah, that's weird. That is weird. That's really weird. Right. So let's be busy. Let's test a strategy, right? So we're gonna hit it. We're gonna do two. We're gonna take one off. We're gonna put it right underneath this volume right here. We're gonna short it again. We're gonna take one off. This is probably pretty aggressive for a stop. Oh, I missed my entry. And again, we're coming into this volume right here, which is this volume right here, and this is our this is where we are looking for a bounce. So actually having a candlestick chart up right now makes a lot of sense. So let's get this party started. Right here. There we are. And there we go. This is what we're trading. So every time I have two on, I have $100 in risk on. We're looking for new lows. I'm just gonna lock that in. There we go. Made $30. We made $30 in 3 minutes. I don't know why I can't get it through my thick fucking skull that that's amazing, and I just have to keep doing exactly this. And when I size up, I get up to 10 contracts and 15 contracts or whatever. That's just like, that's impatience on my part. This is impatience. It's like, and it's greedy, because the thing is that like this is such a clearly functioning system. Making $30 in 3 minutes. It's crazy that, that's it's $1,200 an hour, I think. $600 an hour. Which is, yeah. I mean, if I put up $1,000 over an hour and a half, which is kind of like my daily goal from 9:30 to 11 a.m. That's the deal. And I understand somebody could say, "Oh, your risk reward is skewed. Your risk reward is skewed because I had on $100 in risk. I only made 30." But the thing is that I kind of calculate my risk off of, it's flat to flat for sure. So that means, I'm on and I'm off, I'm on and I'm off, I'm on and I'm off. So I was flat here and then I was flat here. So like, everything that happens between, I consider like, the risk, and that risk is bouncing between 50 and $100 in risk. And then it's slowly like tightening up. It's bouncing between 50 and 150 really, because I'll get up to 3 contracts. But I consider kind of like my risk being the entire bias of this move, if that makes sense. So like if I got back in short here, and I should still be short. I just, and I'm gonna go short right now. I'm taking on the risk. I consider the risk to be like then all of the trades are in this entire move, because the win rate is so high, right? So, let's see. Oh shit! Yeah, no, I took off. Didn't I just take off? No? Yeah, I did. Okay, good. There it is. It just took a second for the trading line to show up. 11, 17, 6, $12. Right. Okay. We're gonna go break fee even. See if we got this. So really funny. Like I can't even explain how bad I wanted to buy this, right? Like, and how bad I wanted to buy this zone. Thinking that this 3 candle reversal is going to push up, whatever, but using the volume profile and telling the story of where volume is and where volume is migrating to is keeping me out of a lot of trouble. Now, I haven't done the news. I haven't looked at like what news is coming up, but we got 10 minutes to probably some sort of like red folder event. So let's take a look. I really like Top Steps news calendar. I don't know why I like it so much. All right, so we got jobs in 10 minutes. And then we have some orange folder events, wholesale inventories, continued jobless claims, productivity preliminary, unit labor cost preliminary. Other than that, some news, not really. German industrial orders. Looks like they went up a lot. I don't know, whatever that's good for. Australian imports under expectations. All right, here's this little bounce, so we're gonna lock this in. But then also, I would say that a major um, thing that we're looking for today, that could influence how we trade tomorrow, and it could influence a lot, would be this: is that we're looking for um, what happens if we build volume underneath this 335, right? So this is a really key thing to keep in mind. So I'm not thrilled that my text isn't copying over to all of these charts, because this should be, my narrative text should be on these charts, and for some reason it's not. But yeah, so we're looking at this 400 points. We're looking at a potential 400-point drop today. All right, let's say this, and then copy move drawing, do this, modify text. Not sure why this isn't copying over to this. Let's see here. Yeah, I should be doing that. It's kind of driving me nuts that this isn't copying. I wonder why that is. It's a nice accent. Yep. All right. So what do we bounce off of there? And is this meaningful? Yeah, I don't know what that is. Let's see a look. Yeah, I don't know. When do we believe the move? When do we believe this move? And when do we just think it's an opportunity to short? When do we change our bias? That's so weird. This volume is so weird. Like, what is this? What's going on here? Is there some weird spike that's not showing up on my chart? I mean, is that what this is? Was there some crazy volume that went off? I mean, in my book, the pop should be like here, here. Mm-hmm. Oh, I guess that's it, right? Wow, weird. Weird. Yeah, that's what it was. This is some weird spike in volume right there. All right. So we have another taper, right? We have another taper down into this area. So we moved down, sellers slowly disappeared, and the buyers kind of slowly picked up. And that's what this is. So we explored down into this price range again. So my A plus setup is going to be a volume build inside these tapers, a big volume build. So like if we had another, I mean, this would be if this line wasn't here. But still, if we start putting in a big amount of volume right here, that's going to tell me that we're going to want to short the snot out of this thing. Right now, we're not going to take a trade because we have jobs coming out in 5 minutes, and we don't want to be caught on either side of that. So we're just gonna hang for a second.